Let's talk about what you can do to be successful at capturing beautiful video clips that'll help you tell a story about a moment. I cannot express enough how important it is to prepare before you shoot. Understanding a few key concepts about shooting and doing a few pre-planning tasks can save you a lot of frustration on the day of the event and later when you're reviewing what you've shot for the day. One great way to make sure you get every important moment on video is to make a checklist of what you want to capture. We call this a shot list. It guarantees that you have the big moments covered. It can be as simple or as elaborate as you want. For example, for our birthday party, we know we want a shot of the outside of the house with balloons and the party sign, so we can put that on the list. We know we want a shot of the kids playing games, the birthday boy putting on his hat. We want some shots of him interacting with his grandparents and best friend. And we know we want him blowing out the candles on his cake and opening his presents. Those are all things to put on your shot list. If you're able to check off the shots on your list on the day of the event, then you'll know you didn't miss anything really important. Now, that doesn't mean only get the shots on your list. It's important to be watchful for interesting moments as they unfold that day. The shot list is just a guide to make sure you have the high priority moments covered. One of the most valuable keys to shooting interesting video is to vary up your shots. When you set up your shot, you want to think about not only where your subject is, but also where you are in relation. Perspective is a powerful tool in video to create mood or capture expression. Try repositioning yourself and looking at your scene from a few different angles. Try shooting a wide shot to set the scene. This gives the viewer a sense of where you are and what's about to happen. Medium shots are great for a scene where the action might be a bit unpredictable, like children playing a game. It brings your viewer closer to the scene than a wide shot does, but still leaves room for movement. Now, when you fill the frame with your subject, that's called a close-up, and it's great for capturing emotional moments and making your audience feel really connected to what's happening. Not every shot you take has to be a long, continuous shot either. Instead, try shooting a moment with a series of shorter shots. Try shooting from a few different angles and capturing a mixture of wide, medium, and close-up shots. All of the different creative angles will give you the chance to weave a more visually interesting story with your video when you go to edit it. Another way to vary up your shots is to try using a few different lenses. The Rebel T5i camera is available in two different standard lens kits. One kit includes an 18 to 55mm lens, and that's great for some medium and wide shots. The second kit includes an 18 to 135mm lens, and this longer zoom range will give you some more room to be creative. Let me explain how it works. When you want to capture a wide shot of everyone in the room, stick to the lower numbers on the lens. Shoot somewhere in the 18 to 24mm range. But if you want a closer shot of the birthday boy blowing out the candles, turn the zoom ring on the lens and you'll see it extend. Try working in the higher numbers. Shooting in the 80 to 135mm range will make it look like your camera is closer to your subject than it actually is. And if you're capturing something from a distance, maybe a soccer game or kids playing tag in the backyard, try working with a longer telephoto lens. This 55 to 250mm f4.5 to 5.6 lens is perfect for that. It's an STM lens with image stabilization, and it'll allow you to capture great shots of the game, even from the sidelines. One thing to stay away from is that awkward, shaky in-camera zoom, especially if you're holding the camera in your hand. You've probably seen the shot before. It looks like this. Instead of zooming while you're recording, shoot your wide shot, then stop recording, and frame up your close-up shot. That'll be much more watchable for your audience. So what exactly do I mean when I say frame up your shot? Well, think about the composition of what's in your frame. Look for vertical and horizontal lines. Fence posts are a good example. The vertical should be straight up and down and not tilted, and the horizontal lines should be parallel with the horizon. Keep the rule of thirds in mind. Think about laying an imaginary 9-square grid over your frame. Instead of putting the most interesting thing in your frame in the dead center, it should fall at either 1/3 or 2/3 of the way up or across your frame. It'll make your video much more visually interesting. It's generally a good idea to leave a little bit of room above your subject's head. This is called headroom. And if your subject's moving in the frame, leave some space in the direction that they're moving towards. That's called lead room. Once again, practice and repetition are the best ways to learn how to shoot video. The more you do it, the more these guidelines will become second nature. They'll come very naturally. And in no time, your videos will start to look better than you ever could have imagined.